So there's one more area that I want to talk about, and that's in regard to whether you remember or not, all the details.
Right.
I don't have crystal clear memories of everything that happened that first molestation. I have some snippets of pieces.
Yeah.
I certainly have the second part of the story where he called me into the garage and he was unzipping his pants. And I have my mother's, what I told her.
Yeah.
And with some of the women I've worked with, during possibly some other work, maybe over addiction or over relationships, they might have a flashback or a memory. It's not necessary to have all the picture. You don't need all the details.
And you may not.
You may not.
And because one of the things to think about is that, like, for you, the first molestation happened at about 6 years old.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
So here the challenge is most of us have memories back to about that age, but very few of us have memories like 3, 4. So you may have little pieces, but
some people,
generally the brain is just not taking in some of those.
Yeah.
Some of those, or they may not just.
And
be
some
able
people
to
do.
recall.
I mean,
Yeah.
some people do have memories.
So that's one piece of it,
Right.
is that the brain is not at a place maturity-wise to incorporate some of those memories.
Right.
And the other thing is that for some people that we talked about, that freeze response.
Yeah.
So when the brain is in that mode, its ability to incorporate memories is impaired. So you may not have some pieces of that memory. You may have even disassociated, which is like that part of your brain just shuts down.
Especially in long term.
Yep.
I mean, there was some situations where, the person might have counted the ceiling tiles, or they might have studied the pillow that was next to them, and so I think by design, disassociation can protect us.
Yeah,
at
it
some
is.
level.
It actually is a
Yeah.
defense, and some of it is involuntary for most people. So the other thing you're talking about is like counting the ceiling tiles and things like that. That's depersonalization. Like you're not present with what the activity is. You're observing something else. It's another method in which the brain is saying this is too painful.
Let's just
let's
switch the channel and wait till this is over.
Yeah. So again, because you're doing that, you're focused on something else, then you may not incorporate some of the memories of the trauma.
Yeah. Again, on some situations where the person is drugged, or or passed out.
Yep.
The body kind of knows, the spirit knows, but you might not know.
You don't have the memories, or you have the after effect.
Yeah, and that's what I guess that's the main point. Is some people want or think they need to have all the memories. They want to go get hypnotized. It's like a hunting a ghost, maybe, or chasing a ghost.
It could be. I think some of it is that if they have all of the memories,
somehow it'll be fixed.
Yeah, or they can understand it better.
Okay.
That for me is a big piece. They want to understand what happened.
It.
And especially if they think it was their fault, or if they're wrestling with it, was my fault? What did I do? How did I do? What's my part in this? So they want, and again, I agree with you. It's not necessary to have all the pieces, because in counseling and therapy, what you can deal with is what's going on right now for you in the body, how you're experiencing the world. There's plenty to work on. So sometimes that chasing that down can be draining on a person emotionally. So it's just the brain just does this in many different ways. I've had some people describe it as it was like an out-of-body experience. Their memories now are like they're looking back down on it, so that again they're kind of separate from it, and that's just the brain trying to manage a very difficult memory and a very difficult experience.
And I think when you just brought that up, what I'm thinking is that we're spiritual beings, and we have this spirit and our soul, and that very piece of abuse and trauma and attack and whatnot is not just on our physicality. It impacts our soul. It impacts our being. And it's not like, I tore my ACL. I had surgery. I'm better. But that doesn't affect our soul and our spirit. And this does.
So it does. It gets us at our core level, at the deep spiritual level, spirit level. And again, I'm just thinking about this too, because the major areas or times of your life that the brain is developing, your personality is pretty much set by 6-7 years old. Your core moral values are like 12 years old, 12, 13. But if you think about it, if you've had some traumatic experiences in that time frame, think about the impact that has on who you are, your personality.
Yeah.
And personality to me is about how I relate to the world around me, how I manage life. And so that's impacted.
Getting healing for your daily life activities to function in life is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And so if triggers come up, if emotional pieces come up, the mindfulness studies that they're doing, being grateful for where you are today, finding peace and hope, and moving into something, maybe serving other people or volunteering. Let's just function with the here and now, and chasing ghosts could just be re-traumatizing.
Can be.
It could lead to more pain.
Yeah, one way that I talk about it is that when they experience the trauma of the past, they get to the freeze. So the more helpful response is fight or flight. So today, what people can do, and I'm always encouraging people, look, what action can you take today? What can you do today? And that way you're training your body when you have that experience again, that get triggered, okay, what can I do right now? How can I either get grounded again? Or many people who are doing some great things in the world and helping others have a trauma past, and they say, you know what, I'm gonna, that's not getting wasted.
Right. That's what I feel. It's like wasted. My Me Too story is not going to be wasted on me.
And somehow that's gonna fire me up to do some good for others. So and that's where it can go, and that can be so healing for a person. That how do you make sense of that happened in the past? What you can do is do something today to use that to inspire you to overcome, and that's again where we get to the overcoming. So that's where I go.
Oh, make your mess your mission.
Oh, did you just come up with that?
I did.
Wow, make your mess your mission.
Oh,
I like that.
We love you.
Take care.
Take care.